Hello, sir. Whoever is here, please say hello in the chat. Because otherwise, I don't even know you're here. So what's the point of us talking if I don't know you're here? We have a nice program today. We're going to go extremely deep on how to make money on YouTube. Of course, we're also going to discuss a couple of your questions, right? So we'll start out with a bit of a Q&A, and then we go right into our lessons on how to build successful YouTube channels based on our own experience building a freaking company that is building YouTube channels. Okay, so who else do you want to get this information from if not me? Next up, some more Q&A. Lastly, a special opportunity for ambitious people as well as another Giga University giveaway. Let's go. Hello, hi mate, hola, hello, yo, let's go. How are you? I'm good, man. It's nice to see you again. Today I was in the gym. Yesterday I was in the fight club for sparring. And I looked across the room. There was around 50 people getting ready to do Muay Thai sparring, right? And I look across the room and I see that one person, and our eyes connected, no homo. We saw each other, we immediately grinned. And there was one reason for that. We had a 3-digit kilogram body weight. We knew it immediately, okay? Among all these thin Muay Thai fighters, there was 2 titans with above 100 kilogram body weight. There was a great moment of brotherhood, you know, when we connected. So with that being said, let's dive into some questions. Give me some questions, guys. And I'll try to see if I can answer them. At the same time, I'll get the Giga University questions ready so that we can rush through them too. That is freaking impressive. Look, how do you go about accumulating power after you have acquired money? That is a question that's not always valid. Because what you want to do before you do any of these two things is think about a way how you can acquire both at the same time, right? And the truth is, whenever you acquire money, whenever you build cash flow streams for yourself, you are in some way also acquiring power, right? May it be in this small niche that you are targeting, where now suddenly you are becoming important, right? Before that, you've been a fucking simp. Nobody gave a fuck about you. But now this little niche in business is where you have something to say, because obviously there are people trading your product or your service for money. So you are important, right? I'm a 25-year-old product manager in Series B high-tech startup. I'm considering starting a side hustle. I was thinking about micro SaaS or faceless YouTube channels. Any recommendations which one to pursue? You know, as a product manager in a high-tech startup, you are not predestined for either of these two, right? You have the same, I would say, the same preconditions as everyone else. So it's difficult based on that little description that you gave me to give you a recommendation. Me personally, I would go with faceless channels because that is something that that I'm an expert in. So that's something I know how to build. Some other guys might tell you micro SaaS is the better way to go. Yeah. But micro SaaS is something that is, a nice scalable way to build an income stream, but it's in no way easy. Micro SaaS in many cases is like building a proper startup, you know. Um, so my opinion on micro SaaS has changed a little bit over the last couple of months, in the sense that I think maybe it's not, unless you can really think of a micro SaaS project that you can pull off yourself extremely quickly, um, and build a nice passive income stream for yourself, probably it's not worth it. Because then what you can do is just build a fucking SaaS company, go for the kill, go for the billions, instead of building a micro SaaS company, working the same hours, because it's tough. It's always tough to build an income stream that will make you tens of thousands per month. So yeah, it's not that clear that micro SaaS is the best way to go about making money. Um, yeah. By the way, where's everyone watching from? We have a lot of American viewers on the channel, but I noticed that the German crowd is getting larger these past couple of weeks. Um, and I had in the analytics we had some interesting countries popping up, like Saudi Arabia and so on, which were countries never seen there before. Finland, that is also quite exotic in terms of channel analytics, man. Greetings from Warsaw. Greetings back from Warsaw. This is Warsaw right there. Fucking beautiful. German. What's up, Yannick, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, hit me with more questions and we'll get to the questions. We'll get to some more questions before we then get to our first topic at hand: how to make 5K from YouTube within 3 months. And by the way, for this topic, also get ready to ask questions, right? So if you want to make money from YouTube, I expect from you that you are able to ask the right questions. This is a massive topic, so I'm not going to talk for 5 hours now, and basically construct a course in my head and go through it in this live stream. But what we'll do is we'll make this mostly Q&A based. So I'll talk a little bit about the very basics, and then I want you guys to ask the right questions, because everybody has different questions, and there's no point in me just talking all the time and not answering your specific questions on that topic. Okay? Nigeria, Texas. All right. I dreamt today in buying a Porsche. What car do you have? For what do you use a supercar? I use a car a lot in the city nowadays. When I need a car, I always rent a car. There are so many great supercar rentals out there, and frankly, I use a car like every 2 months or so. Um, Before I moved to Shanghai, I had a car, and I was kind of using it from time to time because if you live in Germany, it's a bit different. But living in Shanghai, there was no point getting a car. Now that I'm in Warsaw most of the time, I'm kind of figuring it out, um, whether it's necessary to have a car. All right, so we'll jump into the first topic and discuss how to make 5K from YouTube in 3 months. So, one fact right at the start, okay? We typically take 3 months to take a channel from zero to break even. Now, that is an average, okay? We had a channel that literally we started, and after 1 month it broke 5,000 monthly revenue, okay? Because I think the first or the second video just received, what was it, 500,000 clicks or so. We had a channel that after 6 months had shown no signs of any growth, and just now, a couple of weeks ago, it started gaining traction on a couple of videos, so there's hope, So this varies, but typically it's around 3 months. This is still extremely fast, okay? So most people that I know, when they start a YouTube channel, they have no idea about YouTube. It takes them years to get somewhere, right? But because we have a blueprint and because we have been doing this for some time now, hyper focused on a single niche, right? We don't do talking head videos, we don't do tutorials, we just do documentaries, right? Documentaries is everything for us, and it's a growing market. In my mind, it's the best market to be in, and I'll tell you why in a second. But because we are so hyper focused, I think we can pull off these short time ranges quite effectively. All right. Now I know from interacting with a lot of you in the Giga University and on my Instagram that one of the most popular things that people are interested in is actually building YouTube channels, okay? So sometimes there's people asking about other money making methods, like building a video editing agency. I have some guys asking me about angel investing syndicates. Copywriting, for some reason, is also very popular. I think copywriting makes sense, but only if you combine it with an AI angle to it, right? Because otherwise, this old copywriting stuff is dying slowly. But most of the interest always is on freaking faceless channels. So it seems like there's some interest in this topic. Now, I want to hear from you. What are areas that we should talk about in terms of faceless YouTube? What are questions that you are interested in? And remember, I'm not talking about building some fucking faceless channel that's going to make you a little bit of money within, a couple of months and then it's going to die, like the typical faceless YouTube creators. I'm talking about how can you build something sustainable? How can you build a channel that doesn't require you to be in front of the camera, or you can be in front of the camera if you want to, right? But essentially, I'm talking about how to build a long-term sustainable channel that will grow surely over the months and years, and that will, bring you nice revenues every single month. Okay. So, any questions? Any areas that you are most interested in that you don't have clarity about? Ask them in the chat. Lala Lali, please do live stream on angel investing, angel investing, angel investing. Lali, tell me just one thing. What is your net worth? Okay? What is your net worth? What's on your fucking bank account? How much real estate do you own? How many businesses do you own? And what are they valued at? Let's start with that before we talk about angel investing. How to be expert in storytelling? That's a good question, because storytelling is at the center of everything you do on YouTube. So we'll talk about that. Lala, 10,000 euro is, 10,000 euro is an evening in an exclusive club in Germany or Poland. With 10,000 euro, you can't start angel investing, unfortunately. You can build an angel syndicate, but angel investing, I always say you need to have 1 million more or less. Otherwise, there's no point. Shadow bands, okay. Also going to talk about this. Automation. Niches. Differentiation. All right. We'll just keep going, okay? Just keep asking your questions and I'll start answering some of them. All right, so let's start with niches, okay? Because everybody is at that point at the beginning. So you're thinking about, all right, I want to build a YouTube channel. I have no idea in what niche I want to build that YouTube channel in, because hopefully most of you know by this point that it doesn't make sense to talk about many different topics. If you do a YouTube channel, or if you do any social media channel for that fact, you need to you need to be very narrow, right? In one single topic. That's where you can build some authority, and then from there you can expand. So how to think about niches? Well, there is 2 ways to think about niches. The first one is the passionate way. The second one is the analytical way. So, passionate way, analytical. I'm sure you like my handwriting. So, if you go the passionate way, right, as the name suggests, what you will start with is yourself. So you look at what are things you enjoy. One of the biggest things that most of the YouTube strategists and YouTube coaches will talk about is do a channel about something that you enjoy talking and researching about. Because, and that's what most people say, at some point you'll get sick of it. Now, if you want to take this advice to heart, you can start with your own passions. You can literally make a list. These are 10 things that I like reading about. Start with with magazines, for example. What magazines do you read? What websites do you frequent? What kind of TikToks do you like watching, or whatever, right? Make a list. Those are probably your passions. And then from there, do some research on whether these niches, these passions are occupied on YouTube already. So if you look for them on YouTube, is there already like 20,000 channels? And probably it's difficult for you to compete with them. Or is there just a few channels, just a few videos? And ideally, the production quality of these videos is quite average. So maybe you can do a better job. Then you might have found a nice niche to double down on, right? The other way is the analytical way, because I disagree with most YouTube consultants, because I treat YouTube as a business in some sense, right? I'm very passionate about the stories that we tell on the MegaloMedia channel, on this one, because I'm a fucking megalomaniac, right? I want to make billions. So I admire these people that we talk about. Steven Schwartzman, Larry Fink, and so on. But the other channels I'm not necessarily passionate about. And that's because we run YouTube like a business. So if you run YouTube like a business, you don't need to be passionate about whatever the hell your YouTube team produces, right? In the end, it is on you to assemble a great team of A players and then motivate this team of A players to produce great content, right? So we can also go the analytical route. And the analytical route is not based on what you like, but based on YouTube, right? Based on what is out there. And then, essentially from a macro perspective, what you want to do is you want to look at different niches. You want to look at what is the saturation of that niche. So how many competitors do you have and what's the demand? You can do that with Google SEO. And what are the CPMs or the RPMs? So what you get as a creator in that particular niche, because you want to make sure you make a lot of money and you're not in some niche where there's an RPM of $2 or $3, right? You want to be somewhere where it's like 6, 7, 8, 9 and higher. So that's those are the two ways on how to look at niches. And of course we can go on talking about this for a couple of more hours, but let me see what else you guys have commented. YouTube has shadow banned someone. Angel investing in Canada, you also need you need to be able to write 10K tickets, at least 10 or 15 10K tickets, 10K US dollar. So I don't know what that is in Canadian dollars. And you don't want to put 100% of your net worth into angel investing, right? That's highly risky because chances are you will lose everything. So you want to make sure the angel investing money, let's say 150K, which is small, right? But $150K dollars, that is just a small part of your total net worth, right? Bob's Essential Guide. Are you only posting on YouTube? What about Rumble? Not posting on Rumble yet, but maybe it's worth a consideration. What's the CPM on YouTube versus Pornhub? I haven't tried, brother. If you have experience, let me know. It's worth a consideration. So what I would like to do is I would like to assemble a SWAT team, and then what we do, guys, is we take our documentaries. I mean, if you think about it, our finance documentaries are literally like porn. It's so hot. It's so exciting. It's so stimulating to watch these documentaries that you are right. We could put this stuff on Pornhub. Let's try. So let's talk about more, right? Now, you have your niche. Now, what it's about is storytelling, right? It always comes down to storytelling. If you double down on a niche now, you need to be able to tell great stories. And that is also one way of differentiation, by the way. Now, with storytelling, it's like this. It's something you can learn to a degree, right? I would say you can learn storytelling to some degree, but it's something I see people struggling with. So that's why when we are hiring right now, we have adjusted the hiring process. When we are hiring right now, we are looking for people that really have storytelling experience, you know? If you are just starting out, you don't have any idea how to hook an audience, you have never written an article or a script or whatever, then chances are maybe you're not the best fit for us, you know? So storytelling is tough. There's a lot of great tutorials out there. So there's a lot of great YouTubers, you know, who put out free content. You can watch these videos. They tell you how to construct great hooks, how to build a nice intro, how to like hook people within the first 30 seconds of the video so that you don't have this massive drop in retention. These are things you need to double down on. And in terms of differentiation, storytelling is just one thing, right? Essentially, you can view a video as a package, okay? And the outside packaging, okay? The outside packaging consists of the title, the thumbnail, and that's not all. The channel, because the channel name gets displayed together with that. The view count, because the view count is a qualitative factor in you determining, do I want to watch this video or not? If there's a video saying Steven Schwartzman plans to take over the world and this video has 10 clicks, you will probably not watch it. But if this thing has 10 million clicks, for sure you will check it out, right? And then one more thing is kind of the first couple of seconds of the video, because right now if you hover over a video, it kind of starts playing, right? And this might get more important in the future depending on where YouTube takes its platform, right? So that's the outside packaging of the video. The inside packaging is a couple of other things. It's your script and it's your editing, right? There's really not that much to it. For us, in terms of differentiation, what we always try to do is if we go into a niche, we want to be one of the top 3 channels in that niche, period, when it comes to quality, right? So, of course, when we go into a new niche and there's already 5 channels in there, or 10 or 100, we will not be in the top 3 in terms of views or in terms of subscribers or something like that. But we can be in the top 3 in terms of quality. And in the long term, if we keep being in this top spot, we will also be in the top spot in terms of the analytics, so in terms of the views, subscribers, monetization, and so on. So shadow bans, just very quickly, man. If you are really shadow banned, you know, you need to start a new channel. Some people, though, that I talk to, they tell me that they are shadow banned, but your videos are just shit. Okay, that's the truth. It's not like YouTube doesn't like you. If you make great videos, YouTube loves you. But if your videos don't get a single fucking click, it's probably because your videos are shit, right? 90% of the cases. Sometimes you're really shadow banned. And automation, okay? So I see we have a couple of questions here about automation. I don't understand the scale part of the faceless YouTube channel. It takes me like 15 hours per video, and I did my numbers. I don't see the ROI on spending 15 hours of my time for the exposure I get from one video. And so on. Someone is talking about M&A. Very nice topic. Let me talk about this also. Okay, we'll talk about this in a second. And how many centimeters is your biceps? We'll talk about this too in a second. Okay. Let's first talk about automation. So I think it's extremely hard to build a portfolio of channels that are fully automated and you can just sit on the beach and drink protein shakes and not worry about these channels. Because typically what you do is for each channel you build a small team, right? You have a channel manager, you have a script writer, you have a video editor, you have a thumbnail designer. Some of these resources you can share, right? You don't need a thumbnail designer for each single channel. You can have one for 3 channels, for example. Now, there's 2 options you have now, right? You can hire a fucking world-class team. You know, you can hire an ex-scriptwriter from Vox. You can hire the video editor from Mr. Beast and the thumbnail designer from some other fucking YouTuber. And then this will, cost you $25,000 per month. Now, if you do this, probably it's going to take a very long time for you to get to profitability. But you will probably not have to worry about this channel every single day, right? You can just let them run because they probably know YouTube better than you do. In most cases, you can't hire these kind of people, right? You can still hire people that are extremely capable, but these are people that need a little bit of guidance. Now, if you're clever, what you do is you install a general manager. So you have one person that is really, really good at YouTube, and this person then directs the channel teams, right? And the channel teams is always a channel manager and the other guys, right? So that you have one additional chain of command, so to say, between you and the channel managers. This can kind of, increase the efficiency a little bit without increasing the cost exponentially. But long story short, this is a people's business. So people that tell you, I can just automate everything with ChatGPT and then Runway and then just automatically post it on YouTube. That sometimes that works, but it just works for a couple of months because these niches where this complete extreme automation is possible, they get saturated pretty fast. And then it comes back to, okay, you need to build one of the top 3 channels in your niche, and that still requires a lot of human action. And when humans are involved, trouble, management, people skills, and so on. So it's something that can't be completely automated. Okay, but in terms of your ROI calculation, maybe you're not getting traction on these channels soon enough. Typically, okay, just talking our books right now. We divide channels in 2. So in my Excel calculations, right, when we do financial projections, we divide channels into 2 types of channels. The first one are extremely high potential, but also high cost channels. The second one are mid potential and low cost channels. So for a low cost channel, I can construct a channel team that will upload 4 times a month. It will cost me $1,000, maybe 1,500, something along those lines. For a high potential, high cost channel, it will be more around 5,000 at least. Okay, we get to profitability with these lower cost channels within 3 months easily. Okay, because we break the $5,000 AdSense revenue barrier, so we're profitable. With these high potential channels, it's a little bit more difficult, because you have high potential for sponsorships, for example, so that's an additional revenue layer. But these are also these are high potential because they are more difficult to crack, if that makes sense, right? So you need to invest more. Also, the risk is more, but if it works, the reward is more too. Okay. Yeah. Then, is it possible to leverage AI to be more efficient in the video making process? Which tools are the best for this? Um, yeah, obviously ChatGPT, Runway, stuff like that, right? You have nice transcription tools. Um, I forgot the name of it, but these also work very well if you want to have video snippets that you insert into documentaries. You know, that's stuff that makes your documentary look 10 times more professional, and at the same time it's extremely easy to do with AI. Have you heard of anyone doing M&A? So yeah, we wanted to talk about M&A. Um, so alles nur Marketing. Very interesting what you guys are doing. I don't know if you're doing this with German YouTube channels or what's your thing there, but feel free to get in touch. Maybe we can spin up something interesting. We're also looking for people that will manage the German side of our business because we're expanding into the German market um, in terms of YouTube channels. Um, uh, to answer likes, have you heard of anyone doing M&A through YouTube channels? There's very few extremely professional players in this market. Okay, so what you have is, I know a couple of guys, ex Goldman Sachs, one Blackstone dude. They are dabbling in the space. They are doing roll-up strategies. They are doing some fancy financing methods for channels where they buy channel catalogs, and us, right? We're obviously also exploring the space, but there's few professional players in that space for now. This is definitely going to change. You have a lot of unprofessional players. So I'm a member of at least 10 Discord chats where it's all about buying and selling YouTube channels. The problem, most of them are shit, right? If someone offers you, in general, if someone offers you to buy their social media channel, be it YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Pornhub, I don't care. 99% of the cases, it will be shit. Okay? So you need to think about, why is this person selling this to me? Probably not because they have an extremely high EBITDA margin on this thing and it's fun, it's easy to maintain, and they are making millions. Probably because there's something wrong with it. And that's even more true with these small channels, which are probably the ones you are looking at, right? Because you don't have millions, most of you don't have millions in your bank account, so you can't do big channel acquisitions. And these small channels have a very, very good look at the analytics because most of them, trust me, they're being sold for a reason and you don't want to own them. Okay? But likes, if you're looking at this market, also happy to chat or connect you with someone in our team that's looking at M&A. Very clickbaity title, I must say. It's good though, isn't it? I mean, you can ask any question. Someone asked about my bicep. I have no idea. Uh, I'll show you my bicep and you can evaluate in real time, okay? This is my biceps. It's fucking impressive, to be honest. In general, my physique is incredible. I don't know how you can be such a Awesome. It's fucking awesome. If you ask how many centimeters my biceps is, it must be at least all of the centimeters available. Okay. So, as a brokey 15-year-old, do you still think pursuing high finance is best for creating billions? Or would you suggest business creation like a YouTube channel or something else? Look, my strategy has always been to pursue a dual strategy. If you have the possibility to get into great old school institutions, I'm talking universities, yeah, like Yale, Harvard, or the local equivalent in your country, or institutions like Goldman Sachs or McKinsey, do it. But do it for a short time. Don't go in there for 5 years, get lost in this treadmill, start comparing yourself to these other investment bankers, and oh, he bought this new Rolex and he's getting promoted to this senior associate level or whatever, right? Don't get into that, but get in there and get out. And ideally, during your time when you're in there, already start building something on the side. Because trust me, I know, trust me, when you get in there, you have that stable income, you know exactly when you're going to be able to take the next promotion step. It's very difficult to get out. When you're in private equity, you know exactly how long you need to stay there in order to get your carry cashed out, right? You have golden handcuffs. And then if you don't have anything that generates income on the side, it's very hard to get out. So what I always suggest is start at the university already. Start building side income. Don't be a lazy fuck. When you're at the university, let's be honest. Even if you're at a top tier university, you still have time to build something on the side. Just skip beers a couple of times. Skip being drunk at some senseless party a couple of times and build at least a little bit of income on the side. Don't be a pathetic loser. Okay? Don't be average like all the other people that go to your university. But build your own ego by building something on the side. Okay? And then you build this thing. Let's say you get it to $3,000 per month. That's not a lot, but it's something. You start your job, and guess what happens? If you have built a successful side venture, a successful side income during your university time, and you start your job, you have a lot of benefits. Because now suddenly you don't feel as dependent on that job. You feel more comfortable. You know that if people, if you need to quit this job or if they throw you out or whatever, you still have some income coming in. And guess what that does? It actually makes you perform better at your job. Because now suddenly you're one of the few people telling the truth. The manager asks you, hey, how do you like this new work process? You're the only one speaking up saying, hey, this new work process is shit. Okay, while all the other sims are like, oh yeah, we like it. It's very professional and we would like to kiss your ass. You're the only one speaking the truth. And guess what? That gets rewarded. People will look at you, will be like, okay, this person is maybe not the easiest to deal with, but this person is real. And they're going to start promoting you. So in the end, what it does is you advance in your main career faster, but you also have income coming in all that time on the side. So those are my thoughts, brethren. I made a lot of money with REITs and options. Then GameStop happened. Melvin Capital. Yeah. Unlucky. Unlucky, man. More than 10 channels. More questions or insecurities, my friends? What is your next job? Fuck an MBA most of the times, unless you really need the signaling, but then do the best MBAs, right? Do Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, Ivy League, INSEAD, and so on, but don't do any just MBA to get to have an MBA. What is your next job? So the concept of next job makes sense if you are at the stage of your career where you are building the foundation, right? So you need to know that eventually maybe you want to be an investment manager, and then you want to work with more and more startups, and then you want to raise your own fund. So you want to be an investment manager, so okay, as a next step, maybe I should just start some shitty startup, get a bit of funding, and then it'll be easier for me to become an investment manager at a VC fund. Okay, that's the concept. But for me, I have built the foundation. I have built the foundation, and so what we're doing from now on is we're aiming for the stars. And if you aim for the stars, there's no next thing. There's just this immediate next thing. And then maybe I have some ideas in my head on what else I could try if this thing doesn't work, right? But that's a different concept from the next job concept that Andrew Chen introduced. What you need to know though, and that is something that I also know, is what industries do you want to focus on, right? So once you build the foundation of your net worth, you have stable income coming in, or you have a big net worth buffer that allows you to just play around and try these moonshots. Once you have built that, typically you have also gotten to know a couple of industries. For me, it was consulting, and during consulting, of course, I was also looking at different industries. Then it was geographically, I went to China. That is a big learning. I worked in venture capital. I worked with a lot of different startups there, medical tech, smart manufacturing, clean tech, and so on. And during all that time, mind you, I was active on YouTube, right? From the day that I was 16 years old, I was active on YouTube in some manner, with own channels, not as a consumer. And so then it becomes clearer and clearer after you build that foundation what industries you're going to attempt moonshots in. For me right now, that's the intersection of media and finance. From Germany, no-name university, finance degree, and startup with little VC backing on the side. Playing both sides, risk and stable. Dream stable outcome, KKR full-time. Dream risk, startup exit. Yeah, but are you like working towards this KKR full-time thing? Because I imagine if you have a startup with VC backing, you need to double down on that. That's frankly what I would do, you know. Just double down on that. If you have gotten VC backing, it means that someone believes in you. Um, and our life is too short to aim for, being managing directors at some private equity fund. That's fun, but you make, how many millions do you make? 5, maybe 10 if it's a massively successful year and you're one of the top performers. That's nothing, man. All right, before we can talk a little bit more about your questions, guys, but um I want to talk a bit about this stuff here. Da, da, da. Talk a little bit about your questions from Giga University, and I saw that a lot of them actually we have already addressed, as we do. This is the stream I need. Is starting without putting money up front possible? This is possible, but that means you need to do everything, right? If you want to start a YouTube channel without paying an editor or without paying thumbnail designers, you need to do everything. And that sometimes is a great option, to be very honest, because sometimes that means you actually learn that stuff first, and then you can hire people much more effectively, right? You can hire people because you know yourself how editing works, at least roughly. And so it's easier for you to hire an editor. What is the niche we should focus on? As I explained earlier, right, there's different ways to think about a niche. You can think about it from a passion perspective and from an analytical perspective. Acquiring shares of already existing channels. Yes, we are exploring that right now. And I have friends at financial institutions, namely mega funds in private equity, that are doing that. Could you do a research demonstration of the research listed and face on the YouTube and showcase what finding the profitable niche would look like and how you calculate CPMs, if that makes sense? Yeah, we can do that. Thoughts on remote work versus in-person? What's better from what industries do you believe are in the tip of the major disruption? What's the most underrated skill that's crucial for success in business is perseverance and focus. It's difficult to pick one of the two, okay? But what I see most is people give up too early. It's also true for these fucking YouTube channels, We have some people joining us and they expect that after 3 weeks they have massive success. For a YouTube channel, you need to upload consistently every week for 2 months, and then you can allow yourself a first judgment. Okay, but even then, I would rather continue for another month. So you upload consistently for 3 months. Okay, and if you do that work and it doesn't work, then you can start questioning yourself and your strategy. But before that, you just uploaded 2 shitty videos. You have done 0 improvement in between them. And now you're thinking, yeah, it's not viable to build a YouTube empire. No, you have just not given it your all. It's no wonder that you're a failure in life. Specialization versus being a generalist. I think being a specialized generalist is the best. Gig economy is a great opportunity for a lot of people, and I know a lot of you are also dabbling around in the gig economy. How to scale without compromising on quality. That's what I said, right? It's about hiring superstars. And at the beginning, that is super, super tough because you're cash constrained. You can't hire the best people. You don't have any money coming in. Later, it gets a bit easier, right? But you need to understand this point when, okay, suddenly all your channels are break even, you're making money, or maybe you just have one channel and now it's really starting to take off. Now it's probably a good time to hire additional people to support you, and then you should go for really, really good people, not just average people. Let's see. Let me just open YouTube for a second. All right. So in terms of how, like, let's talk about this year. I would just like to see you clicking around YouTube and showcasing what finding the profitable niche would look like, how you calculate CPMs. So calculating CPMs is very easy. You can just Google that. So you take a niche of your choice, and I'm sure there is a discussion on Reddit about what the CPMs are. Be it crime, true crime, or finance, or whatever. In terms of finding profitable niches, let me just give you a couple of pieces of advice. I don't think it makes sense for me to go through YouTube because my personal YouTube doesn't make any sense for that. And then the actually one channel we could use. Let me just tell you about it, okay? Otherwise that takes too much time. So secret tips. Okay, first one. Look at different languages. Okay, if you know just English, bad luck. If you know at least one more language, take a look at that market and see what channels you have in one market that you don't have in the other market. Very simple arbitrage. You can't copy those, you'll get copyright issues and so on, right? But this is a great inspiration on what channels to open. Next thing, train your algorithm. So create a new YouTube account and then watch a couple of videos of these typical faceless YouTube channel niches. So for example, top tennis shots or top golf shots. I know there's some people creating Formula One. There's a lot of crime faceless channels. So train the algorithm on these faceless channel creators and then watch what it recommends to you. And this will yield great results. And then you can still decide, do you want to like pursue this faceless channel strategy? So you basically double down on short-term revenues, or you want to build something for the long term and kind of pursue our strategy. I wrote you and you didn't reply to my personal mentorship. Sir, I have so many messages coming in, and I'm not I'm not offering personal mentorships right now. In most of the cases, unless you bring something extremely interesting to the table. Is an education channel good? That depends a lot on the education niche. So in general, education is a niche we do like a lot. But not every education niche is profitable. If you talk about tech coding, wow, that has a great CPM. So let me just get rid of this for a second before we do some more questions, and then we call it a day. Okay, so 3 roles I'm trying to fill. First one, general manager. Next one, we need more script writers to be channel managers. And third one, experts that are not experts in YouTube, because we are experts in YouTube, but TikTok, Twitter, and so on. Okay, general manager is someone that will have a lot of responsibility, that will basically manage that will be in constant interaction with the people from Deus Media Group that lead all the different channels that we have. Okay, so that's one thing. Second thing, as a general manager, because it is a CEO's job and you're now the general manager, will also involve a lot of hiring, so looking at creative ways to hire more people, to get more talent to work with us. That's a person I'm looking for. You should be extremely structured and extremely professional. Ideally, you have some experience already in the media or social media or new media landscape. It's not a prerequisite though. You need to be analytical. We work a lot with data. We try to be as data-driven as possible. And you need to be very structured, because we're trying to build processes internally. And as a general manager, it's also part of your responsibility to make sure these processes get implemented. Okay, next one is script writers. If you feel like you can come up with great stories, that is a perfect prerequisite to work with me, to work with us, build YouTube channels. Okay, I typically think that someone who writes great scripts is the best person to become a channel manager. It's typically not the editors, although in some cases that might be the case, but most of the times it's someone who knows how to write compelling stories. And these are the people I want to promote to channel manager, and they have their own channel, they have their revenue share, they make extremely compelling money, and have a team to manage. So if that's you, please go ahead. By the way, this is the email that you can send your application towards. And then TikTok, Twitter, etc. experts. We know YouTube quite well, I think. Now, what we want to do in the midterm is to take some of these channels and also start being successful with them on TikTok, on Twitter, Instagram, and so on. So anyone who feels like they have cracked one of these platforms and they want to work with us, either as a consultant, so you get paid per hour, or as a business partner, so you have some kind of share in whatever you're creating, please also feel free to reach out. Okay. When you reach out, at least if it's for script writer to be channel manager, we'll probably forward you a Google form that you can fill out that allows us to evaluate. Are you able to think about titles and think about storylines and so on? If it's for general manager and TikTok, Twitter, etc. experts, it will be a little bit different. It will be more of a classical application process, where you want to look at your LinkedIn or CV and have a conversation with you. All right, now I can take some more questions before I will head off, do some more work. Need to get back to a couple of personal mentorship threads at a Giga University. I wanted to create a video sales letter for Giga Uni. I have a lot of internal stuff to check off at Deus Media Group. And some reading to do maybe too. That would be nice for Sunday evening. Last half hour before bed, just reading. No social media, no screens. And just drifting off into Monday. Monday is the happiest day during the week. Okay? Monday is the happiest day throughout the whole week, because finally we can start working again, right? The worst thing about the weekends is that when I, as a boss, send messages to employees, I cannot always expect them to answer, because it's the weekend, unfortunately. And some people like to not work on the weekends. So I always look forward to Monday, because then finally we can all work together again, right? It's freaking awesome. "30 grams of protein. It's not bad." I know James Johnny. Bro, I think James Johnny is, if you create videos of such quality, why don't you do it more often, man? Like, why do you have breaks of 3 months within your videos? Sure, these videos are extremely high quality, and I understand that James Johnny is a one-man show. But I just don't understand how you can build such a powerful channel and then not fully leverage it. Same with Benjamin, Benjamin, this finance channel, the guy makes brilliant videos. But then he just has a break of freaking 4 months or so and doesn't upload. Why? Just keep uploading, man. Do your job and make money and make your audience happy. Opinion on real estate investing, rental properties as a side hustle. I think it's a viable side hustle, but I think it's a lot of work. I have decided for myself to not dabble in real estate too much. There's one project we're pursuing right now. But that's a bit of an exception. Apart from that, I think it can be a lot of work, and you want to make sure that you have enough net worth to acquire enough apartments or rental properties or whatever, and be able to put in place some kind of structure that manages this stuff for you. Alrighty, boys, I'll log off. It was a pleasure to talk to all of you. I love you all. Um, as I said, last thing that you can do is, as always, we have a Giga University giveaway. Um, I'm not going to tell you what Giga University is. If you have stayed here until now, you probably know that. You can get a 50% discount, but we're only giving that away to one person. The only thing you need to do is text us at GigaUni on Instagram, Giga_uni on Instagram. Just text us, say hi or fuck you or something like that, and one of our staff will randomly select one person, and then you get a 50% discount on the price, and you get access for lifetime. Okay, typically you get access just for 1 year, but this is lifetime access and it's 50% discounted. The only thing we want you to do is be an active member of the community, contribute, so that not only you learn from us, but also we learn from you. And so looking forward to getting your messages at Giga_uni. 50% lifetime. Bam! And little side note for the ones that are left in the stream. We are planning a massive revamp of Giga University. New design, new name, new content. Going much deeper. Also, this whole, there's so much interest in this faceless YouTube or YouTube empire building niche that this is definitely something that we will record a lot of high quality courses on. Of course, people who join before that, they will get free access to that, right? Yeah, that is something that is in the works. Really looking forward to that because I think it's going to be extremely valuable. We want to stay do boutique mentoring, okay? I don't believe in stuff like Hustlers University where there's, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of students. And basically the only mentoring you get is a bit of back and forth texting with someone. As I said, I think most of these people end up not making any money. And they end up blaming themselves. But the truth is you are learning outdated business models. And you're learning it from, courses that basically you could access for free on the internet. I don't believe in that. I believe the only way you can make money is if you have something that resembles a personal mentorship connection, okay? I have people in my personal network, younger guys, that call me mentor in our private life. I got to know them through some ways, and now we talk from time to time. I mentor these people, and these people either make money or they are building a great traditional career for themselves. That's because I individually, for all of these people, they are all different, right? Tailor my advice to these people. And that's the only way I think you can really build businesses, right? So if we build a course or something like that, we need to have some kind of personal mentorship component in there. Sure, you need the basic knowledge, you need the courses, the videos and so on, but you also need someone to take you by the hand, and then with all the fucking hurdles that you need to cross along the way that cannot be standardized, that cannot be pre-recorded in a course. With these kind of hurdles, you need someone to help you overcome them. Okay, so that's something for the future, and something we're kind of already implementing in Giga University now, right? Because we have personal mentorship threads. That's actually where most of the communication happens. It's between you and the professors that we put into your personal mentorship thread based on your preference on how you want to make money, right? So at Giga Uni, 50% discount lifetime, and we'll pick one person right now. And it was nice chatting to you all. Today was a bit more quiet than last time. But it's good. We finish earlier. Alrighty, boys. Peace. May God be with you all. Be saluted. May God, may Allah praise you with massive wealth, a lot of money. It's the only thing you should care about in this world. It's a lot of money. And after that, a lot of power, right? So that's what we pray for every single night. Bye-bye.